Here's an interesting question. Daphne here, wondering when the effects of the pandemic will be over. What a sad situation that 2 years after COVID-19 hit the world stage, flying is not what it used to be, prompting the question, when will air travel return to normal? Due to the impact the ongoing pandemic has had on our lives, there are fewer flights in the sky as well as fewer passenger bookings. So many conversations are underway these days about staying safe when traveling. Well, actually, and also when flying. Do I have to wear a mask? Is proof of vaccination required? The net losses for the airline industry during the year 2021 is estimated at close to $52 billion. To make matters worse, in the United States, disruptive passenger incidents have exploded. There were more reports of disruptive behavior than in the entire 31-year history of these types of reports. Battling passengers who refuse to wear masks or bring their own alcohol on board to drink are just two of the types of encounters dealt with by flight attendants. These days, the airlines are tasked with the ever-changing and fast-changing regulations set forth by the different countries throughout the world. Regulations that often can be very confusing, and that's sort of an understatement if there ever was one. Case in point, this past April, an Australian domestic flight was delayed due to quarantine rules changing when passengers were still in midair. In December 21, Ghana decided to introduce some of the toughest regulations in all of Africa. The international airport there began fining airlines $3,500 for each unvaccinated passenger who landed in their country. Wow, now that's harsh. Cases like that, where the regulations change, are popping up everywhere, it seems. Because there are fewer flights these days, I have found every plane lately has been packed to the brim. Prices have risen. Because the number of meltdowns has increased, there have been a number of canceled or diverted flights. Staffing shortages are also to blame due to flight crews being overworked and some calling in sick with COVID. What has your flying experience been of late? Have your air travel experiences been more stressful, more expensive, and a bigger hassle? Found this statement to be quite interesting. In an interview, ITA's CEO and Director General Andre Dejuniak said, and I quote, "The era of affordable travel will come to an end. That shouldn't be a big surprise. With fewer planes operating, with restrictive passenger loads, airline companies are forced to maintain higher fares to recover the massive losses they experienced in the past year." Well, actually, and also in the last few months. As reported by Bloomberg Business, the virus-weary world limps through the third year of the outbreak. Experts are sending out a warning signal. Don't expect Omicron to be the last variant we have to contend with, and don't let your guard down. End of quote. The bottom line for my husband and me is to travel where it is possible to travel with as few restrictions as possible. And also because time is of the essence, travel has been such an important component in our lives. Therefore, we have stopped trying to answer the $64,000 question, when will air travel return to normal? Because that, my friends, is a question with no answer. For your information, the following is a list of the top 10 airlines with the best safety record in 2021, according to Condé Nast Traveler magazine. And interesting to me was the fact there's only one American airline on this list. Here it is: Qantas, Qatar, Air New Zealand, Singapore Airlines, Emirates, Etihad Airways, Alaska Airlines, Cathay Pacific, and British Airways. So come on, you American Airlines, get your act together and get up on the top of that list. That'll make the travelers here in America extremely happy. Actually, I found that statistic that there was only one airline on that to be a little bit discouraging. But on the other hand, there are a lot of really fabulous international airlines, and I've been on most of them, and I would agree with this list.